Let's go. Great victory. Great victory. Knicks with the victory. 119-106. 119-106. We got the get back. We got that get back from Toronto, man. They've been giving us um lately throughout the years, Toronto's been giving us a hard time. And but we finally pulled out. We finally pulled out a victory. What's up, Darlene? Always Darlene, the first one. Salute
Hey,
to Darlene, man. She's always the first one. Appreciate you, Darlene. Appreciate
man,
you.
love.
How you doing? Hope you enjoying your Friday night. Um, yeah, man. I like this victory, man. A lot of people tend to sleep on Toronto like they ain't got no talent over there, and they do. They got some good players over there. It's still, Scotty Barnes ain't no slouch. Pascal Siakam, he ain't no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dennis
Schroeder.
Schroeder. Like, dude is a beast. We was talking about it last night. How these guys will bring it to you any given night. You know,
Back.
and but tonight,
Was
we
our
was
night.
able to, you know, we was able to step on their neck.
Facts. Facts. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Jules. Another almost triple double.
Talk
Let's talk
about
about
it.
some Nova boys. Let's talk about Josh Hart taking over that third quarter. I'm saying like one, two, three players with 20 plus.
Yeah,
One, two,
and
three, four, five. Five players over 15.
and you got two players who were only a couple shy away, points shy from 20 points. We could have
Facts.
had five players with
Facts.
20 points.
Look at you.
You know, um, yet again, you got motherfucking Dante DiVincenzo coming off the bench with 20.
Seven threes.
Super efficient coming off the bench. Like, you know, he 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 might be giving Quick a run for the money for six man of the year.
Facts.
Yo, like the kid does it all, man. The
Facts.
kid does it all. I like what I see from him. I like the addition. I was always, I actually, that's a guy that I was, hoping the Knicks would even look at, and yet they come and sign them to us. So, I thought he was a great addition.
Facts.
But to see him come out and seven threes,
Crazy.
that was something that we was lacking last year,
Facts.
you know,
And he said
and
it. He
now,
said it in the post game. He's like, the ones that I miss is because I rushed it.
yeah, and you could see that,
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
could see that he was 7 or 9, like
Right. It don't get
super
more better than
efficient.
that. Like,
Yeah, you know, um, Emmanuel quickly, even though he had a quiet 10 points,
hmm,
1 steal, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He was quiet today though.
he was.
I
But
felt like he was one of those, inconsistent nights.
I don't know if it was inconsistent. I mean, he was 50% field goal. I think
Yeah,
it's more like I think when they see the other players eating, they just let them eat instead of like, let me try and get mine too. You know what I mean? Because you see it
yeah,
with
that's
multiple
true.
players on our team. It's like, okay, RJ went off in the first quarter. He like had our first 7 points, so they let him eat. Then he cooled down. Julius was just Julius. You know what I mean? Come third quarter, there was no stopping Josh Hart. So everyone's like, just feed the kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Josh took over, and look, another game. with 8 rebounds.
Right. Right.
8 rebounds. Your man, 3 of them offensive. You know, he's a fucking rebounder machine for a guy who's what? He's what? S- he's 6'4",
Right. Little.
but he plays like he's 6'8", 6'9".
Right.
You know, like the guy is a rebounder machine. Is something like yeah, that's true. That's true, Darlene. He doesn't,
Facts.
like he was like Obi gave us what he gave us, but nothing compared to this. Like this is different. This guy's like he's comfortable in the system. He's not afraid to shoot the three, and he's not afraid, and he got game, and he'll bang it on you. That's the thing. Like you see him small. That's another guy
Yep.
who's hold up. He's another guy who's 6'4" and
Hmm.
plays like he's 6'6", 6'7".
Right.
You know, so people gotta put some respect on Dante DiVincenzo's name, man.
Facts.
You know, and I feel like it was a impressive win, man, against another team that got size.
Right.
Those guys ain't those guys are tall and defensively, they're not a bad team. You over there, you got fucking OG on Al Ginobili.
Hmm.
He's a pretty good defender.
And I
That's a
mean,
guy that
the fact
that's
that the fact that Mitchell Robinson only had 5 rebounds shows you how hard they went against us today. They were banging on the boards today. They wasn't letting him get anything easy. And even down the stretch of the game where they put a lot of pressure on our guards to get that ball up the court.
yeah. Yeah, Mitch, they did make it difficult, but he also made it difficult for them. Like
For
if you
sure.
look, right? If you look, he still had 3 offensive rebounds.
Hmm.
But the key one was the 4 steals.
Right. Right.
That's 6 steals in 2 games.
Right. And what center do that? Like, you don't
Yeah,
really see centers that do that.
facts. So Mitch, they made it difficult for him. I mean, let's be real. They got motherfucking Jacob. uh I have a bad pronouncing his last
Yeah,
name.
I can't say it either.
But that dude, look, he by himself had 12 rebounds.
Right.
So he had 12 rebounds. Siakam had 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
Um,
It was two
who
bodies on Mitch in that paint all
right.
game.
Yo, Scotty Barnes had 9 rebounds.
Hmm.
You know. Then you got fucking this guy coming off the bench, Precious Ochua. He has 6 rebounds. So
Hmm.
they had some size out there, and they definitely took advantage and out rebounded us. But we good teams find a way to overcome these issues. You
Facts.
know, the good teams find a way to win games.
Yep.
As we was talking about it before we started the live, I want you to break down what we was talking about before we went live.
I mean, I
Talk
was
to
just
him.
saying this is a game that last season and in previous seasons we would have took a L. We would have just bowed down to them and just that would have been it. The minute they came back in that second quarter and took that lead in the third, when they gave us a run for the money in the third, we would have bowed down. It would have been an L we took. But the fact that we played hard and guys stepped up, guys that aren't our superstar guys. There are role players. There
Right.
are disgruntled players. They took it upon themselves to, do what they had to do. Like it's so fun as a fan to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like this, if we would have played this same exact game early in the season last season, we would have lost. Because
Yeah,
remember, last season it wasn't until later after All Star break that we would started winning these type of games. First half of the season, we was taking L's like crazy on these games,
yeah.
and the
Well,
fact that we really haven't had a lot of success against Toronto.
no. Remember yesterday? I remember yesterday. I was telling you like, well, we in the last God knows how many years
Yep.
we 15-5 in our last 20 games
Right.
against them. Well, you could say 15-6 now,
Right.
um, but if you look if you look at this game, right? They completely hold up.
Killed them.
Let's go back to this because to me it's impressive. I don't care what nobody told me. Like,
Right.
you know, this say what you want about the Raptors, you know, um, but they completely outplayed us in almost every single category. I mean, you know,
Yep.
they okay, I think the one thing they did struggle was from the 3-point line. Remember yesterday we was talking about that.
That's the, that's one of the only stats we did better than them.
Yeah, like
And
other
we
than
hit more
that,
and we hit our free throws.
right, we hit our free throws. They out rebounded us. They had more offensive rebounds than us. They out rebounded us on the offensive end 19-11, right?
Right.
They
They had more assists than
we
us.
out rebounded them on the defensive side. They had two more assists than us, 32 to
Mm.
30. They had one more steal than we did. Um, we had one more steal. Hold on, let me mute this. All right. They had one more steal. They had three more blocks than us,
Yep.
6-3. Um, they had more fast break points than we did, 22 to 13.
Yep.
You know, they had they outscored us in the paint 60 to 48.
Right.
You know, I mean, they did everything more than we did, and second chance opportunities 23 to 16,
Hmm.
fast break points 22 to 13. Like
Every category. This is a
they
game.
beat us. Yo,
This is a game that if you just look at stats, you think we lost.
yeah, you would
Except for
say
the
you,
fact that we hit 16 3 pointers.
and like this is when you say to yourself, this team is finally figuring it out. You know, they were having issues closing out early in the season, and now they're starting to like understand that when we up, we gotta stay up. You
Facts.
know, like when they come and try to punch us in the face, we gotta try to weave it, mob and weave it, and counter, and be able to take off on these dudes like they did today.
Hmm.
Because every time Toronto tried to make a run, we came back and made a run on them to
Hmm.
the point where it was just that's it. It was a wrap. You know.
Yep.
I think
I
it was the
think
second.
coach has made a big adjustment in that area because as soon as he sees it getting a little too close, he calls that timeout, and we always respond. And it's like we go on these quick runs where it's like we score 7 points in like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like it'd be crazy, and it's like, okay, guys, we know y'all have it in you. Like let's just stay consistent because the more consistent you stay early on, we blowing dudes out. Y'all dudes is gonna be resting in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I feel like in this game, there was plenty of times where I was like, we was down three, we was down five, we was
Mhm.
down, and I'm like, yo, man, they making it. They yo, they making a run on us. They trying to really like win this game, you know. And but we had an answer every single time.
every time.
And I wanna like, yo, listen, man, like, say what you want, but you gotta the maturity in Julius Randle is to me. I was just talking, yo, shout out to my guy, LV Live. I was just in his live before I was doing this one, and we was talking about it. If y'all don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. He puts out dope content. LV Live. But we was just talking about Julius Randle, man. Yo, people gotta start giving that man his flowers, man. Like, you
Facts.
know, the guy in this game alone made at least three or four key passes that were wide open threes.
Hmm.
And he like you could see like he was not really trying to force it,
Right.
you know? Like, where's my guys at? Like you could see that he's trusting his players. He's not afraid to pass it off if he can't get the shot.
Hmm.
And I feel like the turnovers are not as much as before now. He's starting to limit the turnovers, limited mistakes.
Hmm.
I know sometimes he could, you know, make the little bonehead plays or whatever. But in this game, you didn't see that.
No.
He was looking for his guys.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, over the last, I say last 12, 13 games, like he's been consistent as hell. He's
Yeah,
been consistent as hell. And
yeah,
today, what impressed me is like he's just letting them eat. And it's just coming so natural. And he don't look frustrated. He don't look mad. When Hart took over and then DiVincenzo right behind him, and Julius was just quiet, dude. Julius, like in seasons past, you would see him get frustrated that the pass didn't come to him, or that he didn't get a chance to make a play. This season, you don't see that frustration, and I think
yeah,
that comes with what we've been saying is the team growing together. Because
yeah.
when it's a team that's only been together one season or half a season, and then you start moving pieces, your star players don't know who to trust, don't know what these other
Yeah.
players offer to the team and how they, you know, mesh well together. The fact that this whole team minus Dante played together last season, he knows, you know, who he can trust. And it's showing more and more as the games are going on this season. He looks very less frustrated, less flustered. There was even a point I think they had double teamed him on the sideline, and he usually would have did some dumb shit at that point, and he didn't.
Hmm. No, he didn't. You're right. He kept his composure. You know, he didn't. He's not wilding out on the refs like
Right.
he usually. Like that's another thing that I've noticed. And people gotta start giving him his flowers. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Because the dude is he's playing out of his mind right
I
now,
mean,
and
9 assists. That's crazy
yeah,
for your
nine
star
assists,
player. That's
nine
crazy.
assists, and for a guy that was actually because I remember earlier today when you sent it in the chat about his knee,
Yeah.
um,
He wasn't
that
even supposed to
having
play.
he wasn't even supposed to play. And that's another topic that LV Live was talking about on his live, and how he sucked it up and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna play."
Facts.
Where I said in the chat,
He
I
shouldn't
was
play.
like, "Yo, rest him up. If that's
Yeah.
the case, sit him down."
Yeah.
And nah, he was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting down. I
Facts.
want to play, and we need this win."
Facts. I think
You
he
know,
he he knows that him resting over the summer set him back just a few games. So I
right?
think if it ain't bothering him to the point where he can't walk, that man is gonna play. My homeboy said it earlier when he got on the court. He was like, he's our Iron Man.
Yeah. Yo, that's a fact. Like, the fact
But
that
that
he
also
just
shows you like his pride. He's not gonna sit down just because he a little hurt. Like he gonna play through it. And thank goodness we have a few days off. You know what I mean? Where he can really rest it. And we got the Bucks next. But I mean, that alone, as fans, you should appreciate that.
oh yeah. For real, because it's like, you know, the dude, he's the kind of player that you want that from one of your key guys. You know what I mean? Like, imagine having a Paul George and him not being able to play, or
Right.
Kawhi Leonard, and oh, I'm just sitting out just to sit out. Like, this guy, no matter what it is, even last year in the playoffs, yeah, I'll give y'all, like, he didn't play one on the playoffs, but you know, he still gave it a value effort. Even though he didn't play well, because of the ankle and all that. It is what it is. But other than that, man, I thought today was a nice win. Some good momentum going into
Facts.
Milwaukee, because I think we are at Milwaukee, right? We're on the
Facts.
road right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, that's an impressive win, man, especially on a back to back. Like,
Right. On a
I
back to
think,
back with major travel. Like that ain't no little
yeah,
travel.
yeah, yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we've struggled this year on back to backs. I
Yep.
think we at 500 right now, right?
I think this is our second win in back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, we've struggled on back to back, so I feel like so for us to get this win going into Milwaukee, that's pretty big. I think I'll be honest with you, man. I know Milwaukee's a tough team. Um, but but I feel like they're struggling, you know? I feel like they could be beat. And I feel like the last time we played them, had we've we've done a couple of things different. Maybe knock down our free throws. I think that was a game that we could have won. You know,
Hmm.
not to make any excuses, right? But
I
oh,
mean, the
mm,
Bucks are definitely beatable. I mean, they've lost
yeah,
games. They lost to the Bulls. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, they are 8-2 in their last 10 games, but um, I still think they're a team that we could beat them.
yeah,
I really do think so. I think that we can play with anybody. I think that we also, if we could just figure out how to contain one of those stars, which I know is really difficult.
yeah,
It's difficult to contain fucking Giannis or Dame. You know what I mean?
right.
But I feel like if we do that, we'll be in good. And the way, the momentum, the way we've been playing as of late, I feel like when we played them um in the beginning of the season, we wasn't, you know
Gelled the
uh
way we are now.
yeah, like right
And
now,
we only lost by 5 points. We didn't lose by
right,
much.
nah. And I feel like, this game, you know if they can knock down their shots, especially free throws, I think
Yeah.
we can win this game with flying colors, man.
No, for
I
sure. I
think so.
mean, I say it every time, every game, every show. Like, if we play our game and stick to what we do best, we can beat any team in the league. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a fact. I'm looking at like who they've lost to. They've lost to teams that we've beat already. They lost to
yeah.
Atlanta. They lost to the Raptors. They've lost to. We haven't played the Pacers yet. They lost to the Magic.
The Magic
They
are a good team, though.
they are. We haven't seen them yet either.
No, They won
But they've
9 in a
lost to
row.
teams that they've lost to the Bulls.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact.
Yep. And they play tomorrow. They play Atlanta tomorrow. So we got one extra day of rest.
Let me see. I'm looking at their schedule right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, they lost some. They lost some games that it's like what?
Right.
Why?
That
They lost to the Grizzlies. Oh no, that was a
was in the preseason.
man. They got blown out by the Magic too. Then they
I mean, they
lost.
got beat bad by the Hawks. They got beat bad by the Raptors.
Wow, they almost lost to the Pistons.
Right.
They
So yeah,
almost
they're
lost to the
beatable.
Pistons.
We just gotta play our game. Like you said, we're not gonna stop Giannis or Dame, but we can contain them.
Yeah.
We can try to contain them. Let's say that.
And like if you look at, I'm looking at the scores here. Like they play no defense. Like
Right,
every
because their scores
game,
are high scoring games.
yeah. Like we're gonna have to put up numbers against them
Fact.
because I see here they put up numbers.
Yeah. Many
They
games
put up
like in the
numbers.
130s.
Yeah. Like I see on that last game on Thursday that they lost 113. The game before that 131.
Yep.
You know. Then they beat the Trailblazers
Yep.
108, 106. Then in the in season tournament they put up one oh they almost lost to the Wizards.
Yep. But
Wow,
even look at the game, the other game
142,
against the Wizards, they put up 142.
142. Yeah, they put up numbers, man. Like,
I guess
offensive and but defensively they gave up way too many points.
for sure. I mean, I
Like,
guess the good part is we're gonna be rested.
yeah, yeah. I think that if we go in there well rested, I think that we should be in good condition.
Facts.
I feel like this time around, we're gonna get that dub. I'm gonna say we're gonna win this game. I'm gonna say that. I'm confident like that.
I'm gonna say
Just
this. Tea time. Put that Randall jersey on.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Put that shit on with pride, B, because yo, listen, man, he's been playing out of his mind, you
But you
know?
know, Tea Time said that that's his good luck jersey.
Yeah. Yo, what up, Mike? What's good, Mike Brown? What's going on, Brody? Appreciate you for the pull up. So yeah, let's get into some we're gonna talk about the whole DeMar DeRozan rumors, right? So I wanna get back to this long paragraph that Matty Ice put up. Kev Rodriguez, that there is a rumor of DeMar DeRozan coming to the New York Knicks, and I would say that I would not trade too much away or even any draft picks. So that means that we might get set back if we did make another trade with the Chicago Bulls, just like we did in years past. So why not keep what we have for right now? Because I want to develop everyone to where they will grow into for the future and the foundation of this team, the franchise itself alone. I'm so happy for my guys. Well, listen, listen, Matt. I'm with you, bro. Like, but but at like Scott Perry said, when if you go back and you listen to you go back and you listen to his interview, right? Um, the Knicks are one player away, and it don't have to be a star. And the Knicks have been successful come to trade deadline, they've been able to add some pieces that have helped us get to the next level. Like I would say two out of the three trades. When we traded for Derrick Rose, that was a big trade for us.
Facts.
You know, we when we traded for Cam Reddish, that really didn't work out well for us.
Right.
Cause the year we traded him, he got hurt and then he hurt his shoulder and his season was over.
Yeah.
And then the next year, that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the Josh
Josh Hart.
Hart trade was like icing on the cake.
Facts.
And if you look at our record from when we traded for him till now, it's like, yo, wow, okay, like that was a pretty okay, you know.
Yep.
Um, let's say if we give up like for, this is just like
We talked
an
about it
exchange.
earlier.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. Like if we give up Evan Fournier and some picks,
That's it.
let's say
No
yo,
players.
let's nothing crazy. Listen, for a guy like DeMar DeRozan, if I could get away with something like that, I'm good with that. If the Bulls start saying, "Yo, I want Emmanuel," no, 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 that's it. No, we pull out. Like, nah, you bugging. Pause. Like we out of there. We not making no trade. If they start asking for like all these young players that we building off of, nah, we're not doing that.
Nope.
You know, like I wouldn't even as like right now, even with Quentin Grimes struggling
Nope.
the way he is, I still wouldn't trade him. I still wouldn't trade him, you know, because I really do think later on down the line in the season, he's gonna be okay. Right now, he's fine. He's trying to find his groove, and but but I feel like later on he'll be okay. But if he's included in the trade, I still wouldn't trade. I still wouldn't trade him.
No.
Emmanuel quickly, yeah, he's a restricted free agent though, Mike. He's a restricted free agent, which means that any team, I don't know if you know, but any team that offers him a contract, we can match them. We can match any contract any team gives them, and if that happens, that's a wrap. You know, um, but but you know, what was I saying again?
You're talking about not giving up other guys, just
Oh yeah, for
Fournier
DeMar
and picks.
DeRozan, like yeah, for DeMar DeRozan, like I'm with you, Maddie. But if they come and would take a guy like Evan Fournier and draft picks, oh yeah, here you go,
Yeah.
here you go. I will give him up in a heartbeat because let's not act like DeMar DeRozan is not a game changer. That man he's a game changer. He's a good player. Defensively, he might not be like the best. He might not fit in that way, but when we need buckets, he's somebody that we can look at. But then you got to look at this too. Whose minutes is being taken away if we get him? Answer me that question.
Right, and that's the hard part because we definitely know it's going to affect Quentin Grimes, and it probably is going to
Hmm.
affect Josh Hart. But it also, on the other hand, could lower minutes for Randall and Brunson, or probably Randall. Probably lower minutes for Randall, which I don't think is a bad idea because 35 to 40 minutes a game, if you can lower it because you have someone that you can depend on scoring wise, then hell yeah. And that puts us into them Eastern Conference finals easily.
Yeah, a move
Like,
like
because
that.
who's going to stop us? Look what we're doing without him.
Yeah, yeah. And just adding, even like because it seems like Chicago is gonna be on a fire sale.
Yeah,
It
they
already
going
seems
definitely.
like Lonzo Ball ain't working out. You don't know when he coming back. You know, and as far as uh Nikolai Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan, Zach Levine seems like he want to go to LA. He got his mindset that he want to go to the Lakers. He don't even want to come to the Knicks, which is
Right.
fine with me because I don't even want you on the Knicks because I feel like your contract is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like Scott Perry says, you don't impact winning.
Right.
So why would I want to trade for somebody like that?
Right.
Um, but there's two intriguing names on that team that I wouldn't mind trading for, and that would be DeMar DeRozan or Nikolai Vucevic. And I feel like if Evan and some picks could get it done, grab it
Yeah.
because it'll be a super steal.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was you that said it or because I'm in another chat with my homeboys. I don't know if it was you or one of them that said it. Said, don't forget, DeRozan wanted to be a Nick.
I was me.
Okay.
Yes.
And the fact
Hmm.
that they took Evan, then he went elsewhere, but he
Right.
wanted to be a Nick initially. And so, I mean, I
Yeah.
say if we can get it done without losing any key player on our team, do it. Do
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
I agree. I agree. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat because I think that he's that guy that he's that guy that Scott Perry was talking about, you know? And I think that um he'll fit in perfectly because he doesn't have to do too much. You already got, he once he comes in here, he's already gonna know that the guy that runs this team is motherfucking Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? And everybody else is taking a step back and letting him rock out. You know what I
Facts.
mean? You could see it. You could see it.
Facts. And like I think you said it yesterday, or maybe it was us just talking on the side, where you said Brunson probably wants to just average about 20. So when he
Yeah.
gives us all this extra could be going to someone else if need be. And honestly, Brunson's not the type of guy that I feel would even care that someone else gets all the points. He
Nah, I
just
don't
want to
think so.
win. He just want to win in New York.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah, I
scored five
agree.
points a game, but we win, he don't care.
Nah, he don't. He don't. And that's what you like to see. You know
For
what I mean? That's
sure.
what you like to see. You know, nah, that's true, Mike. You're right. But at the same time, you wouldn't swap Evan for DeMar DeRozan
Right.
if that if
Evan
that
not winning.
trade if that trade was to, like if the Bulls said, yeah, I'll take Evan and some picks and that's it for DeMar DeRozan, you wouldn't make that trade, bro? Cause I know I would. And I feel like he would adapt to what we trying to do.
Right.
And remember we still got Mitch back there. These guys still play. These guys still are pretty good defenders. We still one of the best defensive teams in the league without him.
Right. And
You
I
know.
feel like it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad idea because we're not losing anything that we use on a day to day. And so it's a risk, it's just a risk you would take, right? If he
Hmm.
doesn't if he doesn't fit in defensively or he becomes a liability, then okay, but we still only lost Evan,
Yeah.
who's just sitting on our bench rotting. And
Word.
honestly, I feel like I don't like doing players dirty. And I understand it's a business and I understand he doesn't fit into our system. But at the same time, he still got love for the game. He still wants to play. And so you
Hmm.
don't do players dirty because that karma's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? And so let's just let him go, let him play, get what we can get, and we move on from the situation instead of letting him just rot on our bench and he doesn't look sour or anything, but we know he wants to play. It's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
a
like the
fact.
same thing as Obi. Like we knew that this situation for Obi, it didn't work out for us, but it wasn't best for him neither because he never was gonna play behind Randall. He wasn't gonna get the playing time he needs to even try and develop behind Randall. So it's best just part ways, no love lost, and we move on. But I don't think it's not a bad risk to take because we're not losing anything. Now, if we have to throw in guys that we use on a day to day and it don't work out, then that's a risk that I'll be pissed off about. But the
Yeah.
fact that it's just Evan is someone we don't wouldn't if we see him
Hmm.
in any meaningful minutes this season, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact. Like I really feel like Tibbs completely shunned him from
Facts.
playing.
Facts.
Like the only way we ever gonna see Evan on the court is God forbid, if God forbid somebody gets hurt. Yo, what up, T Time? What's
Right.
goody, my guy?
Hey T
Appreciate you for
Sun.
pulling up on the YouTube. Yeah, if y'all can, man, go to the YouTube, and hit that like button and share away for your boys, man, and your girls. Share away for both of us, man. You already know. You already know. But yeah, man, like DeMar DeRozan, man, he's a special talent, and I always go back to what Scott Perry said because I think so highly of Scott Perry, you know. And when I hear the interviews, and him say the Knicks are one player away, and it doesn't have to be a superstar. To me, that was like, yo,
We that close?
he's right. He's fucking right, bro. He's fucking right. You know, he's fucking right, man. And it's something that we've been always talking about for like all summer long. We could get that one player. We
Right.
could get that one player, and then we went and signed Dante DiVincenzo, which kind of added to it. But if we could get just that one piece, bro,
Yep.
like a name that people will be like, okay, you know, when we go play the Knicks, man,
We about to have problems, right?
we about to have some problems. Like we already got
Like
problems with
I
the
was about
Knicks
to
right
say that. I
now.
was about to say more problems.
Now we're gonna have more fucking problems. You know what I'm saying? Like because he brings something to the table that not I don't know how that's not working in Chicago, to be honest. I just don't think him and Zach Levine is a good fit.
Right.
I don't think they're a good fit. But I think that he would be perfect. He would be perfect playing with fucking Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitch. I think that would be the perfect, bro.
Mhm.
What you think?
No, I agree. I mean, initially when I sent the that post to y'all earlier, I'm like, oh, here we go again because we were just talking about it last night. Like everybody wants to trade, and then I thought, and the reason I initially said no was because I'm like, there they gonna want quickly, they gonna want grind, they gonna want somebody. But when you said, but what if we do this? No players, only Evan. Then I'm like, hell yeah, why not?
Hmm.
What do we have to
Hmm.
lose? We have nothing to lose in that situation. Zero.
None. None.
That's like
None.
a what is it? A low risk, high reward situation.
Fact. Fact. And listen, man. Like he's a guy that has experience, right? In
Playoff
Toronto, he had
experience.
that playoff experience in Toronto. And man, the guy ain't afraid of the moment either. He's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid to go and take that shot when that's for the win. and he's
And
killed us. He's
yeah,
killed us every time he's played the Knicks. He's fucking killed us.
and
You
you
know,
think about the long run, what it does
right?
for us in our playoff run, because we already know we've watched Julius play 2 playoff games with us, 2 playoff series, 2 playoff years with us, and he looked flustered both times.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, a lot less than when we played Atlanta. That first time he took us to the playoffs because we had Brunson. It took a lot of pressure off of him. Imagine
Oh,
having one more of them guys that
oh
you see what
man,
I'm saying? Like when you think of the
yo,
long run, that takes so much more pressure off of Randall in a playoff situation where he can just be Randall. Cause
yeah.
you can't double DeRozan, Brunson, and Randall. You can't.
Nah, you can't. You can't. You're gonna have a lot of problems. You know,
Facts.
you're gonna have a lot of problems, and and not only that, but now you can actually rest Julius Randle. You don't have
Right.
to overplay him so much. And now you don't gotta worry. Like, that'll bring down the inflammation in his knees and let him, rest throughout the year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like you say, man, the amount of pressure, and not just Julius Randle, not just
Everybody.
Julius, it's everybody. Even Mitch is gonna eat off of this.
Facts.
You bring in a guy like DeMar DeRozan, I'll guarantee you Mitch is gonna start that his points per game is gonna go up to 10 to 15 points. Watch.
Facts.
If if
And
the
I
if the
believe
dude
it. I believe it because when we talked, was it a couple of weeks ago when they made that statement about I forget, but we talked about it and I mentioned he should be somewhere between 6 and 10. And
yeah,
since we had that conversation, he's been between 6 and 10 every game.
yo, that's a
So
fact.
definitely having someone of having that one more, he's gonna eat. Because
Yo,
guess what? That big man gotta help double
yes,
team them 3 players we have out there.
yo. He stretches out the floor like you wouldn't believe. He's a player that demands that type of energy from the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like teams are gonna look out for him and be like, wait a minute, now imagine the kind of lineups that that Coach Tommy T can put together.
yeah,
Imagine him with Dante DiVincenzo,
right.
you know, and
Quickly,
Emmanuel quickly on the floor.
right,
Like if imagine him just saying, "Yo, I'll go over there and come off the bench." Shit,
right.
what? What?
No, it gives us that type of trade will give us so much versatility. Like it's gonna affect guys that we currently have, but it may not be for the worse.
And
It
nah,
and I
and
think
nah.
it will be for the better because everyone's minutes are gonna get cut down a little bit to fit this one person in. But guess what? When we go into the playoffs, nobody gonna be tired.
Nobody's gonna be tired, and not only that, like you know, the everybody takes pressure off of everybody.
Facts.
Everybody's gonna be able to eat. You know what
Facts.
I mean? And
We already
and,
have
and
5 or 6 guys that can score 20 points. We gonna throw one more in.
oh my God, oh
You see
my
what I'm saying?
God.
Like low risk, high
Listen,
reward. Absolutely, you do it. Absolutely. If
yeah,
they even
facts.
give an inkling that they'll take that, you right now sign it.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. No, no, no questions. Like no questions.
But
I
like
don't
you
want to
said, the
hear it.
minute you throw in anybody on our roster, I say minus Sims and Deuce because I would throw one of them in if that's what they wanted. Evan Sims or Deuce and a pick. I I do it in a
I
heartbeat.
do it. I do it. I do it. As much as I like Deuce, because I really think Deuce is a good player.
No, and I do
Um,
too.
and but for DeMar DeRozan, if something like that was to happen, they say, yo, even if they say, yo, give me Evan and Sims.
Yeah, you do it.
Like I'll be like, okay, here,
Right. We already got our two centers. We already got our two
word,
centers.
word, like okay,
The only way
that's
that
enough.
you don't include Sims is if, God forbid, something happened to Mitch
Or
or Hart,
Hartenstein,
Hartenstein. Something happened
fact.
to one of them, then you don't pull that trigger. But them two stay healthy by the time you ready to make the trade, you do it.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact.
But
I
if
agree.
they want anyone else on the roster other than them three, absolutely not.
Yeah, nah, that's they off limits. I agree, 1,000%. And it is, a lot of these teams when it comes to the Knicks, we already know how they get down. They trying to mug us.
Right.
They
More than
trying to
any
mug
other team.
us. you know, they'll go and make a trade and get a second round pick for DeMar DeRozan from freaking let's say Miami or some shit. Yeah, yeah, just give me a second round pick. But
Hmm.
for the Knicks, they want 6 first round picks. You
Right.
know, they want our whole core. Like
Right.
it's crazy,
And
and
another thing is, if you look at the two teams that were mentioned in what he may have wanted to go, us or them,
Miami,
right?
Miami,
There's no way I want to see him in Miami
no,
because I
no,
then that makes Miami a whole lot more harder to get through.
where
You know what I
where
mean? So if it's gonna take that little bit from us to make it happen, you make it happen. Because you not it wouldn't be strategically smart to allow him to go to Miami that easily.
Nah, that's a fact. But I think that if that's the case, I think that we might have the edge, being that he wanted to be here,
Yeah.
and because of the signing, which I was like, damn it, of Evan Fournier, um, um, I think that's when he was like, wait a minute, well, if that's the case,
Yeah, I don't fit in there.
yeah. Excuse me. What up, Terrence? What's goody, bro? You said Grimes, Fournier, and one of those protected picks. I listen, man. They asked me for Grimes. I don't know, man. I'm really like on the boat when it comes to Grimes. I really don't. I see some potential in Grimes, man. I see some potential in Grimes. I just feel like right now it's not his time, but eventually, we'll be hearing his name a lot
No.
eventually.
And I think he just had this couple of game bad stretch, or he
Right.
doesn't, like we said yesterday, he doesn't assert himself like DiVincenzo and Hart. And so that's what limits his points. And this is why Knicks fans are jumping the gun on him already. Like,
Yeah.
just be patient. Let's just be patient. And I think Grimes is a no go because our upper management love the kid. It's something about
Hmm.
him. They have said no to every trade that included him in it. They
Yeah.
even have said he is not on the trading block. So I feel like if a team throws Grimes in it, it's gonna be a no for us.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see them. I don't see the Knicks trying to trade him, unless like unless I don't know, maybe some you know like you can't ask for something crazy. You know what I mean? Like something like, wait a minute, what? I gotta
Hmm.
think about this now. Like
Right.
what? You gonna give me that for him? Word?
I mean, although I don't think it would hurt us if we had to give up Grimes because we have Hart and DiVincenzo. It wouldn't hurt us.
Yeah,
But
but
I just don't want to give him up yet. I just don't.
nah, nah, I agree, and I think that Mike brought up a good point. I think
Yeah.
Grimes. Hold on, I'm sorry. I hate when this thing happens. I think Grimes is struggling because of Dante, but I think we should keep him. He will figure it out. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree 1,000%. I feel like eventually he's gonna figure it out. He's had his stretch where he'll go and give you like 10 to 15 points. Oh, it's just right now. It's just right now. He hasn't hit his stride yet. He's trying to find his way. and I just, as I say, man, he just like Miss Nick said, you gotta be more aggressive. You gotta be more aggressive. I think it's the fact that you got so many guys that got the green light. I don't think he has the same. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. I feel like he don't got the same green light as those guys.
But I
I
think
feel
his
like
character also is not as aggressive.
right, right.
He's just naturally not an aggressive player. Like he know he can eat, but he's not gunning for it the way the other guys do. And I don't think
Hmm.
DiVincenzo got that attitude, that aggressive attitude. But I think him playing in Villanova, he already know what the deal is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
him playing with the
yeah,
other guys, he already know what the deal is. I don't think Grimes has. That's just not in his character, and we need him to get it. Like we need him to get New York.
yeah, yeah, man. Like I feel like I seen a play where he took it to the basket and passed it off. I think it was to Mitch for the dunk,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, yo, there go my man right there. That's what I would love to see more of
Yeah.
because I know that he can do things like that.
Right.
He could have either passed it to Mitch or even took the layup, either one, you
Yeah.
know. But you know, I know you could be aggressive. I know that you could do these things. It's just up to you to like say, yo, I gotta get busy,
Facts.
because he's really capable of giving you 20 points.
Facts.
He's capable of doing it when he's playing aggressive. But when he's playing soft and thinking too much, he just be passing it off and then that's it,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, man. Anything else you wanna
Bring on them Bucks.
bring on the bus? Yeah, I think we pretty much touched up on a lot of stuff.
Facts.
Um, you know, that this next game against the Bucks is gonna determine it's a knockout, right?
It's a knockout. So we lose, we out of the tournament.
We out of the tournament, right? So, I really feel like I really feel like we could win this game, man. I feel like we're gonna leave. I feel like we're gonna leave Milwaukee with a dub.
Facts.
Because I feel like it's about that time, man. Like
Facts.
Milwaukee's been getting, you know, lucky, I should say. They've been getting real lucky beating us these
Right.
past, few years, and I think that we're about to steal one from them.
Yeah. I'm with it. I'm ready. I'm so
Yeah, I
ready.
think so.
I'm glad we get to rest a couple of days and just take them on, play our game, stay focused, defend as best we could. Don't get frustrated because they're gonna score. Like, don't get
Hmm.
frustrated and just stick to the game plan. We should be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Yeah, we need this rest because going from New York on a back to back to Canada, and now
Facts.
Canada to Milwaukee, that's a lot. So I,
Facts.
I I agree. We need that rest. Hopefully they get enough sleep.
Facts.
But anyway, y'all, man, I appreciate every single body that pulled up.
Facts.
Um, yeah, that's a fact, Mike. That is a fact. That is his old team. Hopefully he light them up and he goes 7 of 9 from the 3-point line like he did this game. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that pulled up. We always appreciate the love. Don't
Facts.
forget, don't forget if you haven't already, follow us on all the platforms that you see here on the screen: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we got two new platforms, Spotify and the Discord. So don't forget, you know, share, hit that like button, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that
Facts.
and we appreciate y'all, man. On to the next.
Facts.
Let's
Have a
go,
good night,
Knicks.
everybody.
Good night, y'all. Y'all be safe. Enjoy y'all weekend, and let's see, man. Maybe over the weekend we'll we might do a pop up Knicks and Ish and talk some Ish. All
Facts.
right, later, y'all. Good night.
Later.